2021. And just coming on here, just thinking about my chart, my natal chart, and I was thinking about how I can apply certain things, certain places, and all this kind of stuff. So I was like, instead of me just thinking about it by myself, let me share this video with others, or let me share this thought with others. So in this video, it is called How to Simplify the Rulers and Delegates in your natal chart. How to simplify rulers and delegates in your natal chart. Now, whether or not a lot of people come on or a little bit of people come on, doesn't really matter. I'm still going to share this information. So here we go. So first, you have to understand, like, from the back of your hand, what a ruler is in astrology and what a delegate is in astrology. So a ruler, it's not like a measuring stick. I guess it could be, but a ruler in astrology is, the house, what house it rules, like the original house. So like the first house to the 12th house, you got the first house, since it's like the Aries house is Mars, and then the second house is Venus, third house is Mercury, fourth house is the moon, and so on. You got to understand what those what that means, so that you can see and understand what delegates mean. A delegates in astrology in your natal chart is when the house rulers are in other houses. So for example, if you have Mars Mars is the house ruler of the first house. So now you look in your natal chart and see where your Mars is at, where your Mars is located. So then you can see that, hey, it moved over or it's visiting another house and not its original house. It's like not a foreigner, but kind of like that. So I have the ruler of my first house in my ninth house, because I have Mars in my ninth house. Hopefully you guys understand that, because you're not going to really understand the delegate thing unless you understand and know what a house ruler is. Okay? So that's number one. And number two. So then so if I wanted to know, well, Mars in my ninth house, what does that mean? So I need to know all the things, or a majority of the things, or a few things in my ninth house, or what the ninth house means in your natal chart. So then I can pick and choose what that means and how I go. Mars is basically my energy, my aggressiveness, how I go for it, go hard, focus, concentrate on things, right? But I don't want to use it that way for mine. I want to use mine as, because it's like really important, because apparently it's in my chart. So I always think about it this way. So I have Gemini on my seventh house cusp. Seventh house cusp. Gemini on the outside of my seventh house. Okay? So personal relationships, partnerships, marriage, and your open enemy or your competition, right? That's basically what the seventh house means. And then, of course, you can break it down more and unpack it more. So I have Gemini there. So what is the ruler of Gemini? The ruler of Gemini is Mercury. So then I have to look and see where my Mercury is located. Now, Mercury traditionally is in, well, the original house that Mercury is in a third and a sixth house. It rules the third and rulers of the third and sixth house, right? But we're not doing it that way because it's a delegate. So although it's from the third and sixth house, or it rules the third and sixth house, where is it on your chart? That's what you want to know. You want to know about your chart, your life, right? I mean, well, at least I want to know about mine. That's why I got into astrology. So I'm sorry. Let me just do this. And what I do is, turn that off. I haven't been on YouTube for so long. I forgot all the little tricks and stuff. But anyway, so I have Gemini. So I have to look and see where Mercury is. Mercury is in my 10th. I looked at my natal chart and I saw the planet Mercury. I said, where is Mercury on my chart? Let me look. Oh, it's in the 10th house. So it's a roving delegate. I said delicate. Delegate, right? Because it's not originally from there. It's a visitor, right? Because Mercury is not the ruler of the 10th house. Saturn is. So, but for my chart and my life, it's Mercury. So how can I figure out what the hell that mean? Like, how can I break that down and make it understandable to me? Like, what do that mean? So what's the 10th house about? So it's about your public image, how people see you, how you want to represent what you do in life long term. Okay, your goals and how you want to play them out. Like, it's the highest part of your chart, how you want to play them out. It's also other things in the 10th house, but let's just use some of them just for this video, right? So then I have to say, so the 7th house and the 10th house has something to do with each other, right? Because I have Gemini on my 7th house cusp. The ruler of Gemini is Mercury. My Mercury is in my 10th house. So that has something to do with it. It has something to do with each other, right? So my Mercury, so okay. Now I got to say, all right, relationships. So my relationship's going to have something to do with people who are in the public or who have some kind of authority, or they're known for something, right? So my relationships, like my long-term relationship, not my relationship, romantic relationships first, is going to be like, I usually have all of my friends, like my individual one-on-one friends, I meet them from work or some kind of professional alliance. And I was like, oh, that's so cool, because when I put that makes sense, right? All right. And then I could say my relationship, because 7th house is about relationship, romantic relationships. Well, then I can look in my life and see how many people did I meet in regards publicly and with authority, stuff like that. And then I can relate it back because it's the relationship house with the work house. So I always have work friends. Even in YouTube, I always have friends. I have friends from YouTube that I met. Okay, so that's how you do it. Now, I do see some comments. So I'm just going to look at these comments really fast. I know I'm talking fast because I just wanted, this was on my mind and I wanted to get it out. And I said, I'm going to share the video, or I'm going to share, I want y'all to understand it's so easy. Okay. Hey, Shonda and Will and Laval and Sally and Fernando, the moon blue. Yes, please help us with the moon conjunct Uranus and Scorpio 2nd house. My Mercury is in Virgo 12th house. Oh wow, my Venus is in the 10th house in Leo. And yours, Venus in 12th house. Hey Sally, I have Venus in the 12th house too. Yeah, the Venus in the 12th house. We like our space. We want freedom, especially in the relationships and our love life. Like, I mean, we want to have relationships and we want to have love, but it's in our 12th house. So we secretly, or not secretly, I'll say hide our true feelings and our emotions from other people, like especially our lovers. Like, we hide our feelings for them. And then we also want our own freedom. If I'm buffering at any time, y'all let me know. Because it never buffers normally. Only buffers, kids act up in front of people. Hey, Michael. All right. So that's just giving you that real quick thing. I'm frozen. It looks like it's buffering. I'm not moving. See, it's not my fault. And then it's going to make a crazy looking face. Alrighty. And it's still moving. So I don't know if you guys can hear me. I'm going to keep the video going because some people want to know this. So I'm going to keep talking. Oh, my face looks like that. I'm going to keep talking. So, all right. Anyway. So it might come back with the video, but you guys can see how I look. All right. So if your Venus, so somebody said that my Venus is in the 10th house in Leo. Let's don't do the zodiac sign, because zodiac sign is explaining how it is. But we want to see the roving delegates. The only one that's not going to have a roving delegate is if you are a Aries rising. If you have an Aries rising, all of your houses is going to be in order of the zodiac. So it's going to be like the first house is going to be Mars, second house, Venus. It's going to be in order, like how it's supposed to be. But if you're not an Aries rising, then you have roving delegates. You have planets that is not from its original house into a different house. Other than that, you will have your houses is going to be somewhere else. So then we got to see what the hell that means. And what it means is that it's another layer that you can understand yourself about. So you have to have 2 houses and 2 planets. So I'll give you guys some more examples. Where is your Venus? And, well, where is your Libra and your Taurus? Because Libra and Taurus are ruled by Venus. So you want to see where your Libra is at, where your Venus, what house that is in. And then you look at that house and your other house. Is this actually stuff in my chat too? I don't think so. Somebody say something. Shonda, say something. Because I'm not sure if that is frozen as well. If that is frozen, then I gotta get off this damn video. Is that frozen? Okay. Man. I just need a comment so I can see. Oh, thank you, the moon blue. All right. So you have your moon is the second house and no other Taurus. I don't know what that means. Yeah, I can see you guys now. Okay, so and hopefully people who come on after could see what's going on. All right. So if you so you have to look at, in order to do this, guys, to understand the delegates and the rulers, you have to know the original rulers of each house. If you're not an Aries rising, you're going to have delegates in your house and other houses. If you are an Aries rising, your houses are automatically lined up. So if you don't have that, it's going to work. It's not going to work. I mean, it's going to work, but you don't have delegates. So you just know you'll just know the energy of that house, if you're Aries rising. But so otherwise, if you're not an Aries rising, if you have any other rising, you have to look and see where the planets moved around in your house. It's like musical chairs. It's like the planets were moving around when you were born, and when you took your first breath, wherever they landed and stopped, that's where they were. So it may not be where it's supposed to be. Like I said, Aries rising. If you're not an Aries rising, wherever the planet stopped, that's where your planets are. They have moved over there to that particular house, and they're visiting in that house. Now, some houses, some planets don't like being in some other houses. Now, that might be you, so you got to look on your chart and see what is in a house that you have most problems with or most struggles with, like you feel very uneasy in that particular area of life. Now, you will also need to know just what the houses mean so that you can know so how you can tell which area of life that is in. So if you do have a relationship problem or relationship issues, you will look at your 7th house, and if it's afflicted, as they say in astrology, look and see what the house cusp is and where in the world is that planet being ruled, because that is affecting your relationships, or it's affecting your home life, or it's affecting what you do every day, your daily routine, your health, or it's affecting your money, or it's affecting your career, or it's affecting your education, or it's affecting you socially. You may not be a social butterfly or what have you. So you have to look and see if your relationships are not successful, you got to look and see whatever your house cusp is in the 6th house, 7th house, you have to see where that is at. Or if you always wanted to know, like, why am I so into this, or why I'm so into that and I can't get out of that, or I always go back to this. Look and see. You got to know the houses so you can know the area of life, and look and see what part on your chart says that. Look and see the house cusp that rules that particular house so that you can know the ruler, the planet ruler. So you're looking at the zodiac sign of that house. And then you have to look at the ruler of the zodiac sign, planet. The ruler is the planet. Then you look in your chart, on your chart, what have you, and you look for that planet that rules that zodiac sign in that particular house. Hope y'all get that. So any sign, think of it, any sign, if you got Aries in the third house, who rules Aries? Hey, Kings, Anazia, and Virginia. Virginia, I got your email. I will get back with you one of these days. Okay. If you have Aries in the third house, where Aries from? You know, who is their ruler? Mars. So then you got to look in your chart where your Mars is at, and look at that house, and both of those houses combined will give you an explanation of why whatever. Maybe you always argue and have beef with people. Maybe you the neighborhood watch person. You know what I'm saying? So like if you always wanted to know why is this happening this way or that happening that way in my life, you have to look where that planet is, because it's like activating both houses. It's giving energy of one house and it's giving energy of the other house, and they're going to go together just like opposing houses. Y'all know the opposite houses, which I actually wanted to do a video on opposite houses so I can explain how they affect each other. But nevertheless, we're not talking about that right now. We're talking about making it really simple and plain of a roving delegate and a house ruler and how they come together in your chart in a practical way, in a real life kind of way. So yeah, some people are coming on here and then leaving because my face is frozen, but I guess whatever. I promised myself that I would be on here. I'm gonna take 20 minutes to explain. And since people are still here, I am going to finish, even though my video is frozen. It's not my Wi-Fi, it's something else going on. Probably my cell phone service or something. I don't know. But anyway, so if you have I don't know, Taurus in your fifth house. If you have Taurus in your fifth house, what planet rules Taurus? Venus. Where in your chart is Venus? And then you can understand better that way. I hope that you understand. So my Mars is in my first house, and Jupiter and Saturn, Aries, in my seventh house. Okay, so remember, we're making this really simple. So we're not going to start with the planets, right? We're talking about roving delegates. How do we find out the roving delegates? Now, there's another way you can find out the roving delegates. I keep saying delicate, but it's delegate. Another way we can find out, if you're more advanced, you look on your birth chart or your natal chart, and you look at where all your planets, all the planets at the houses, all the houses that the planets are in, and then you can automatically tell. So I have a stellium in my ninth house, and I have Pluto there, Jupiter there, and Mars there. So I have 3 planets, stellium, in my ninth house. So I can say the ruler of the 8th house is in my ninth. Well, the ruler of the ninth is in my ninth because Jupiter. So the ruler of my 8th is Pluto. So Pluto is in my ninth. Or the ruler of my 8th is in my ninth. And then I have Mars. The ruler of the first is in my ninth. You could do it that way. But that is if you really, truly understand the planet energy and how that works. We're not talking about the zodiac signs. Remember, the zodiac signs, when we're talking about the energy, we're talking about planets. The zodiac sign breaks it down and explains it better. But we don't start with the zodiac, we start with the planets. That's just like starting with kids and then parents. No, it's parents and then the kids, right? Okay. So then, or like I said, you could do it that way, or you can just look at the house cusps on your chart if you know the planet rulers of each zodiac sign. So like I said, I have Gemini in my 7th house. So I know that Mercury rules Gemini, and then I look and see where my Mercury is at, and then I can do an interpretation. And my 8th house is Leo. I have an intercepted chart, so sometimes it's Cancer, sometimes it's Leo. So who rules Leo? Well, the sun. Okay, now I gotta look in my chart to see where my sun is located, and my sun is located in the 10th house. So it's like what people know me for, talking about stuff like this, because it's 8th house, secrets, exposing secrets and making things, breaking it down, transforming and stuff like that, right? And I'll do that publicly. So that's how you can break it down. With that being said, I'm so aggravated. I am a Capricorn moon, and by my video being like this, being frozen, and you guys not getting the full effect, it is bothering me so much. But I wanted to finish my points to get them out and complete the video, and I would do a part 2 or another something related to this, because I really want y'all to I really want y'all to understand this, because once you guys understand this, it's going to make so much sense. It's going to get another layer of your natal chart that you're going to think is really cool, and it also can help you deal with things better. Like if you do want to know why I always, want to have relationships some kind of way, it don't have to be a romantic relationship, but why I want to have a relationship with my bosses or something like that. And well, I got Mercury in my 7th, and the relationship piece is the 7th house, and Mercury's in my 10th house, and it's about authority and rules, and like, so I want to have a relationship with people in authority. It don't have to, it could be any kind of relationship, a working relationship, modeling after them and how they rule and different things like that. So, or my open enemy, it could be an enemy, because the 7th house is also your open enemies. So, or people who's in competition with you, or try to compete. Who would those people be? Where would I find these mother effers? Well, in my 10th house. Haters publicly. Anyway, with that being said, goodbye, everyone. I will try to come back on another time. Thanks for people who stayed on and liked my video. I appreciate y'all so much, my loyal